Very good. Hello. Hello and welcome
to
Sunday night.
Yeah.
You can give an introduction.
This looks a lot better with the... Am I allowed to mention this?
No, you can't.
Not kosher. Sorry.
Yeah, of course you can.
Don't touch your face either. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, don't touch your face. How's everyone been going not touching their face?
It's not possible. Like that lady.
Hello, Lizzie.
Don't touch your face. Turns the page.
Looks fancy. Thank you. Well, you know us. We're very fancy people. I don't know about that. Anyway,
Keep
doesn't really
with
matter.
Your elbow. I'm so scared that I'm going to wear this tee.
I'm used to it. Not bumping me, you're attacking me. It's very normal. You touch your face more now that you're aware of not touching it. So it's having the opposite effect to being aware to not touch your face. Oh dear. Oh well. You know, Dr. Fauci's doing his best here. What about face masks? Do you think that would help you not touch your face, or would you touch your face more?
I'd probably touch it more. Did you see that other guy that
I
has
really
the
think
glasses?
I'd touch my face more.
That other American guy, not Fauci, with the glasses. It's also been really weird. He was like trying to take off his mask and he got it caught on his glasses. It's really funny.
I didn't see that. Yep, cough more than a more. Yeah, I'll make sure. All right, yeah. Cool. Hey, Andrew Coles, how good is Jonathan Isaac, the NBA player? Come on, Jonathan Isaac, MVP. No, I just love seeing believers stand for their beliefs, really. Right. That's what I love. I love seeing, in the face of opposition.
Pressure.
Opposition and pressure. So I really like to celebrate when a believer stands in the face of opposition and pressure. I think it's a great thing. What's the law of compromise? Is that, according to Oral Roberts, and it's a biblical law, that if you don't bow, you won't burn.
That's right.
But if you do bow,
you will
burn. I'm not talking about that, Black Lives Matter thing. He's talking about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. Anyway, let's not draw that parallel, Andrew. Don't do that. So, we're talking about MVP. We're talking about, hello, Dale Smith, Pastor Dale.
What is this?
Thank you.
All right.
We are blessed. We're talking about keeping out of trouble. See, John 14, as my wife will read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the New King James to begin with, and then we're going to switch to the Passion, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Just switch.
And then we'll finish it up with some fun COVID facts. So stay watching for that. It'll be enjoyable. Fun COVID
facts? That doesn't roll
terrible.
Off the tongue well enough.
No, not really, but just true facts.
Fun facts about your pandemic. Pandemic.
Yeah.
Slip of the tongue. Anyway, what are we up to? 14. Am I just reading verse 1?
Sure.
Okay. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God. Believe in me also.
Right. Let not your heart be troubled. So that's why we called it keeping out of trouble.
Let not.
Or whatever we called it. But that, in the Passion Translation, it says, don't worry. That's the first part. And that's a big deal. To not worry. This is some practical things in how to keep your heart from being troubled. Practical step number 1. Don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, easy to say, not always easy to do. We can have a tendency to think about, things that are bombarded. Sometimes our minds get bombarded with thoughts and temptations to worry. And there's so much stuff coming at us from all angles that is like ammunition in the gun of worry pointed towards us. But hey, above all else, with all diligence, keep your heart, because out of it flow the issues of life. That's Proverbs 4:23, words to that effect. So be diligent. It really pays off, because the more diligent you are with keeping your heart and what you think about, because you have the ability to choose what you think about, right?
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Or are you not a human being with free will? Are you a robot?
It can be hard.
It can be hard, but
that doesn't matter.
You have a choice, right? You do have a choice. And that choice gets easier the more you choose, the more you restructure the shape of your brain. Hashtag Caroline Leaf.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Caroline Leaf, she's like, you can actually create a new
neural pathway.
Yeah, like you can renew your mind.
You can.
Literally.
And it does get easier.
You know, I heard somebody say, like a great woman of God, say that worry is like the devil's counterfeit for meditation.
Absolutely.
So, like, you meditating on the word of God is really good, but, like, you know, the worry is meditating on the problem.
That's the opposite to worry, is to meditate on God's word.
Right,
and
because it
that
can be the
builds
opposite
faith.
of what you're seeing, and it can be the opposite of what's happening, but that doesn't make it not true.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
You know, that's, yeah. The worry is just like, the devil loves it.
Yeah, that's right.
Why don't you just focus on what I'm doing instead of what God's doing?
So that's
and
practical.
The Bible says you can't add a day to your life by worrying.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
try.
right. Pastor Matt, hey, those scriptures you read this morning, I felt like the meeting was just for me. Fantastic. I loved them. They were so good. I was just like, could barely believe those scriptures that you pulled out there. I was like, oh my goodness. What am I saying? I did lose it pretty much, but in a good way.
No, I think that was pretty mild for you, Matt. Really?
Anyway, it was great. It was a great meeting. It was so great to be at church, you know, corporately with believers. So, second part of John 14, Passion Translation. Don't worry or surrender to your fear. Interesting, hey?
That's a good way to put it.
So, don't surrender to fear. You can be challenged with fear, but there can be a distinction where you go, I'm just gonna like be afraid.
Yeah,
like,
you can yield. It's like a yield.
Yeah, you can yield to it.
Right.
But you don't have to. And that's right. We are commanded to not worry. And, this is a command in John 14. I totally agree.
Yeah,
let not your hearts be troubled.
Don't.
It's possible to
like
not let your heart be troubled. Do not let your heart be troubled. You know, that's right. So
yeah, like, do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not worry.
right.
Up
we
there.
We don't always see it the same, but it's
because it's not like in the blasted into stone, but it's still a command.
What is Louise Lalor trying to say? Sometimes I wonder. So the next part. Don't surrender to fear. That's right.
What do you mean?
It's okay.
I don't know
Just
what
move
you're talking
on.
about. Okay.
For you've believed in God, now trust and believe in me also. Now, verse 2 in the New Living Translation says that there is more than enough room in my Father's house. I love the way that it says that, because it says more than enough. More than enough room in my Father's house, in my Father's home. So there is something that we can be tempted to worry about, is when there's not enough.
Right.
But God is the God of more than enough. He has more than enough grace to get us through problems. Like when we are confronted with something which we could fear about, actually there will be a grace and a way out in which we don't have to surrender to worry, but he can empower us when we go to him and say, hey, little help please. Come boldly before his throne that you would find grace, mercy and grace in your time of need. And you can find a way through it where it's actually wonderful. Let me read in the Passion Translation. It says, my Father's house has many dwelling places. I just touched my face.
Yeah, I've been doing it all night.
Anyway,
Palm. I touched my
sorry.
face. Oh, I touched
We're
it
just
again.
on the COVID thing a little bit.
I'm not. What are you talking about?
Well, because we're going to break out these things.
Watch the we.
No, I'm going to show you some cool things.
He, not we.
All right. Verse 2, my Father's house has many dwelling places. If it were otherwise, I would tell you plainly, because I go to prepare a place for you to rest. I love that. I go to prepare a place for you to rest. That's what Jesus is doing. Now, that's speaking of heaven as well. He's going to prepare a place for us that where he is, we may be also. So that is both yet to come. But can I tell you that is also something that we can experience now? Because John 11, Jesus said, Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest for your souls. You know, and let's hit that in the Passion Translation because it's incredible. Are you weary, carrying a heavy burden? Then come to me. I will refresh your life, for I am your oasis. Simply join your life with mine, learn my ways, and you'll discover that I'm gentle, humble, easy to please. You will find refreshment and rest in me, for all that I require of you will be pleasant and easy to bear. We don't always think of the Christian life in those ways, that God is easy to please. Like that that life can have an ease to it, that there can be so much grace that things become easy. Like that sounds like you're putting more faith in his grace than in the problem, than more worry in the problem.
It sounds like a good idea.
I think we can actually begin to switch things around a little bit to say and speak about the grace in such a way that it is a more powerful force than the fear, than anxiety, than the problems, than all these other things. Not saying that they're not, hey Mel, that they're not there, and it's not denying that they're not there, but it's emphasizing the greater truth.
The bigger thing.
The bigger thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because you gotta honor people's pain or something. Which I understand. It's you need to like that's a weird way to say it. People say it like that for some reason, but you definitely should acknowledge what people are going through. Yeah. And don't say anything or don't talk about it.
TikTok is bad. Okay.
The greater truth.
No comment.
Yeah, that's what Lissy said. You should go on TikTok. And I'm like, I don't want to be spied on by no.
People are fighting on the comments about whether TikTok's bad.
That'll be Andrew.
Give us Andrew and Lissy.
Andy Cole.
They're
Chinese
spying on you.
But the sad thing is, he's not wrong.
I don't know.
And they're like fully going to ban it. Trump's like banning it. Anyway, we won't go there.
I mean, yeah.
We'll just keep out of trouble and.
But
on TikTok.
We just want to encourage you we just want to give you some scriptures tonight and just say, hey, healthy reminder to meditate on the word of God. Think about God's word. Don't surrender to fear, and don't fill your head with too much lamestream media rubbish, because they're coming at you. And more, the world's kind of coming at you now, like you see the effects of COVID in the general society.
Oh, like
quite
the lynch mob vibes.
All of that. I don't know if we should go there. But
jeez, when did that start? I thought,
Yeah.
I thought most of the time people had each other's backs. It's like as far as Australian culture goes.
Yeah.
It seems like that's gone.
Right. So,
in certain aspects.
So I just want to encourage you with these facts about COVID-19 because
are they fun facts?
No, I don't know if I'll call them fun. Because let's say, hey, I'm not crazy conspiracy mental person. It's a real thing. I think it's a real thing. I think people are dying, right? Yeah. That's sad. That's really bad. We want them to be saved. We want them to be healed. But I think the media is going hard with pushing fear.
Yeah, I agree. And fear is the problem, and it changes people.
Fear is it rots the bones. It's a major problem.
Yeah, which
fear
is why people are like...
And so don't yield or surrender to fear. Guard your heart.
Yeah.
Don't let it in. And, hey, let these facts put your mind somewhat at rest so that you know, actually, it's probably not that bad for me. It's far more serious for those that are elderly in nursing homes and that. So I think, would be wise to take precautions with people in that situation. So I don't want to come across insensitive or like insane, because most of the time when you start talking about these facts, people are like, okay, so you're one of the crazy people. You don't care. You don't care about old people because you're anyway. But here we go. So these are from Justin Hart, who's a data expert, data analyst in the United States, and these facts pertain to the United States, but it's a pretty big sample. Like 4 million people have it, or something like that. Have been, well, whatever it is
4
now.
4 million have it.
I don't know. It's changing all the time, but these are some statistics about it, right? That'll be backwards, so I'll just read it to you. Can you read that? No. Are you between the ages of 20 and 40? Your chances of dying, this is in the States, your chances of dying of COVID-19 are the same as dying while playing football.
Wait, is that
fact one?
Soccer or gridiron?
I think that's gridiron.
It's a big difference.
So, might apply to rugby league in Australia too. Okay.
Depends
if is anyone watching under 65? I reckon this will apply to a few people. Anyone under 65, give us a shout out. Give us a wave. Give us a thumbs up if you're under 65, people. Give us a thumbs up because I'm about to read you a stat about COVID in the States, but it may apply here as well. Lyncher, yeah. So you'd be under 65. So, give us a thumbs up if you're under 65. If you're under 65, the chances of dying of COVID are the same risks you face driving to your commute to work.
What?
Yeah. So you're as likely to die in your car in commuting to work as you are to die from COVID. So do we have people gripping the steering wheel that they're imprinting their fingernails out of fear each morning because, hanging on for dear life? Is that what's happening? Okay, if you're between ages of 15 and 24, which many of Mel's that age, I'm pretty sure.
Andy said that's the biggest phone ever. It's a tablet.
Yeah.
You're Wally.
Can you see that? It's a tablet. Oh my goodness. If you're between the ages of...
Wait, excuse me. I've got a phone call. It's as big as my face. Sorry. Serious moment, guys.
If you're between the ages of 15 and 24, you have a better chance of dying from COVID. You have a better chance of dying... No, you have a better chance of dying from, ready for it? Falling down the stairs.
If you're what?
Than dying from COVID. If you're between the ages of 15 and 24, you're more likely, statistically, to die falling down the stairs.
Hey, I've fallen downstairs twice in my life.
And actually, there was one time where that was
Not
serious. That was like really serious. We were trying to get a fridge.
Upstairs. 3 times. I wasn't even thinking about this.
That was the worst time. Oh my goodness. We moved into this house and we were trying to get this fridge up the stairs. And at the top of the stairs, there's a landing and then the wall.
Yeah, but stupidly, we should have both been on the other side. Like, I was on the
She was on... We didn't even think about it. We were young and stupid. We were between the ages of 15 and 24, which is your high-risk category for stairs, young people.
I nearly had it. I nearly had that death.
Don't wear socks on polished timber
while
stairs.
moving a fridge.
In fact,
we weren't wearing socks while we were moving
but that's a fun fact too. 15 to 24-year-olds wear socks around the house. If you've got polished stairs, you need to stop it. You need to take your socks off.
Yes.
Or wear shoes. Choose one. Anyway,
don't do the middle ground.
The fridge is like at an angle going up the stairs, and Lou's on this side pushing it, and I was at the top, and then we come up to the landing, but we had to put it more and more upright so it wouldn't hit the wall, and I'm being squashed in there, so it's getting more and more upright. Is this making sense? I hope this is making sense. And then at the top, we're just like, okay, we're just going to have to go for it. Just give it one more almighty shove. And then just like push it, and it's nearly upright, and like don't let it fall on you. It was insane. It was really stupid. And then after we did that, I'm like, what the heck are we doing?
I nearly killed my wife.
Yeah, I was like,
you're supposed to be the brains of this.
Yeah, it was
organization.
It was really stupid. We should have went up the other stairs, and it was like
would that have helped?
It was late at night too, as it always is when you're doing stupid things.
So you're more likely to die like that.
You're more likely to die like that
than
from COVID-19. Statistically, according to data expert Justin Hart in the United States. All right, kids, this is one for you. Anyone have kids under 15? Emmanuel watching? Is Emmanuel watching?
This applies to him.
Okay, if he's watching, which he probably should be in bed, but no judgment. Okay, kids under 15 have a better chance of getting hit by lightning than dying from COVID-19.
That's
Is your heart troubled still?
Stop it. Look.
Are you concerned about... No,
You're
okay.
gonna
Like,
get hate.
it's a real thing.
You're gonna get...
It's a real thing. And I don't want any child to die by being struck by lightning.
Of course not.
I mean, shivers.
And look, of course,
We don't want people to die. But, I mean, I'm talking about
the
fear and
general
worry.
population as well.
Fear is illogical. Fear many times is illogical. So we shouldn't make decisions based on fear.
Right.
Because that would be potentially illogical decisions.
Right.
We should let peace, according to Colossians 3:15, let the peace of God umpire your heart.
Right.
So you can't have the peace of God in making decisions and fear at the same time. So don't get onto the illogical train.
There's so many little complications. People get so upset about all of this.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want to upset people. That's not our
you
goal.
can't
But
talk about
I'm
without
actually trying to.
upsetting people.
I'm trying to set people's minds and hearts at ease because I found these facts pretty
reassuring.
really? I mean, I'm not afraid walking upstairs. Not that I'm between the ages of.
I should be afraid if I'm walking upstairs.
24
with
and
you,
more. 24 and
moving
15.
Fridges.
Yeah, you should have been.
Anyway.
All right, kids, I hope you liked that one. So last one from my wife here, who under 40 and female, healthy women. Well, healthy woman. Okay,
yeah, and you got to apply that to every
mind
bracket,
you,
because if you're not healthy, you're in the risk category.
Yeah, but the others weren't for healthy women. It was if you're between 15 and 24, and if you're under 65, that's a pretty big one.
But if you're under 15 and you have like an illness, then...
Yeah, but overall, it takes everyone under 15 into account.
Right.
So
even like sick.
Yeah, it takes everyone into account.
Like immunocompromised and all that.
It takes everyone under 15 into account if it's a...
I thought it was excluded.
Anyway, healthy women like my wife here.
I'm healthy.
Under 40, like my wife as well. Your chance of dying of COVID-19 is lower than your chance of dying in a plane crash.
Lower than my chance of dying in a plane crash?
Yeah, and we just flew before the world went insane, before the world went crazy. We just flew. Were you afraid of the plane crashing?
No, we had turbulence too. It was really fun.
That's a better way to go through life. Consider the bumps fun. Consider the bumps in the road
Jeremy,
a free roller coaster.
And the lady behind us was crying. She was actually crying.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm like, I'm not a really mean person, but that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a tiny bit mean at times.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. I wasn't laughing like at her.
Yeah.
It was just the scenario of
some people
squealing with delight and her like freaking out.
Yeah, I like that perspective, Mel. COVID is afraid of you.
Yes.
That's right. Well, it's interesting. We could go into a whole thing there.
I know, and yeah, it's one way, so you can upset people and people can't like get upset back straight away.
Job said, that which I have
feared
has
come upon me.
Anyway, let's not fear. Let's be fear-free, happy, joyful people. Of course, planes are grounded for our safety. Yes. Soon it may be illegal to drive and walk outside during a thunderstorm too. Who knows? But hey, I'm not the one making.
I'm sure
those
that we're not
kinds
the
of
only ones
decisions.
that would rather live free.
Yeah, that's right. I'd rather live free in a dangerous world
got a child.
than safe in a padded cell. After all, the padded cell wasn't safe for Jeffrey Epstein, so it probably isn't safe for you either.
Well,
so
Jeffrey Epstein, probably special circumstances.
Yeah, probably, but in principle, I maintain that. So see you later. God bless. We got to take care of a
crying baby.
child.